like to introduce you to my daughter, Kate. She's a senior. This is one of her senior pictures and last prom. She's doing all of the regular senior things, complaining a lot, texting more than talking, can't find her way to the dishwasher to unload it. We always ask if that latch is broken again. It just must be. She's also doing the other things. She's got great grades. She's trying to figure out where she's going to go to college and how she's going to pay for it. All of those things, all of that teenage angst. It may surprise you if I let you know that when she was born, the doctors didn't really know who she was. They checked male on her birth certificate. They didn't ask her, they didn't check with her. They looked between her legs and made a decision. Set her course in life. We didn't know any better, so we went with the flow, gave her a boy name, and thought we took home a baby boy. But from the minute she could express herself, it was all things Barbie and princesses and mermaids and a crap ton of glitter, which should be outlawed, I'm pretty sure. Everything about her was feminine. And so we would often say that she was a walking Broadway show. All pink, all Barbie, all musical, all the time. I enjoyed so many awesome performances in our foyer, whether they were skating or dancing or singing off key. She was a performer, and she was all girl. By the age of 2, she was rifling through the drawers in the kitchen to find towels to fashion into long hair or to pin into skirts. And blankets in the living room were mermaid tails. All of the movies and cartoons were fairies and princesses and mermaids. And on a really good day, all of them in one. The only almost male thing we ever saw is that she did watch Scooby-Doo with her older brother. And then we realized it was only because she loved Daphne. And Daphne's sense of style, which I don't think she really has. So it fit. It fit for her. And so we made the assumption that if any of you are parents, you may have made if you took this kiddo home. We thought we were raising the gayest boy on the planet. In fact, if there had been an international award, we were quite certain that we had a lock. We were it, we were the ones. And what we were really deciding to do was make this big assumption about her sexual orientation, right? Deciding that she was gay. It really wasn't anything about her orientation. We didn't know anything about that. She was 2 and 3. We were really responding to her gender expression. We were watching the things that she was doing and the toys that she liked to play with and leaping to this conclusion about her orientation, getting it kind of mixed up, which we tend to do about sexuality. We don't understand that there's lots of different components to it, and we know where somebody falls in one of those boxes, typically gender expression, how we communicate our gender, and we make these assumptions about somebody's orientation. So when we look at gender expression and we define it, it is, in general, the communication of our gender to the world. It's how we say who we are. And so when we look at it, most of the time we think about it as masculine and feminine, right? How do you present? What about your clothing, your hairstyle, your presence and absence of facial hair or makeup? What about the subtle ways that we express our gender? Our tone and pitch of voice, our gait, tattoos, piercings. All of those things help communicate our gender. But not everybody falls in just masculine or feminine. There are some folks who fall in a gender fluid expression. And that means that sometimes they're presenting masculinely and sometimes femininely. There are also folks who present as genderqueer. And that might mean that they are presenting part femininely and part masculinely. So that could look like a male-bodied person who identifies as a boy, wearing a skirt, but also has facial hair. So you're getting both of those messages in terms of masculine and feminine within the same expression. There's some folks who present androgynously or gender neutrally. Those folks, you can't tell by looking at them whether or not they're a man or a woman. So they're not presenting masculinely or femininely. So you're walking down the street. I wonder if that's a guy or a girl. No, don't look. Is that a boob? No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Kind of matters, I wonder. Right? We have this insatiable need, right? Is that a guy or a girl? I'm not looking. No, shouldn't be looking, shouldn't be looking. And sometimes you do. So anybody know who this is? Pat. It's Pat. I love mature audiences who remember, because I think it's from the 80s. So anybody who's not familiar with Pat, it was an ongoing skit, a recurring skit on Saturday Night Live. Pat wasn't a cast member, but a guest, and was so popular, they came back time after time after time. And the premise of all of those skits, every time Pat was on, was to put Pat in a position where Pat would have to reveal if Pat were male or female. And so they'd go to the gym. Pat, you coming with us? 'Cause Pat would have to pick a locker room. Nope, tear away sweats. Pat, you want this purse? Oh, no, thanks, I've got a fanny pack. And then Pat ended up with a partner whose name was Chris, who was also androgynous, and the cast went nuts. They were poking fun at this insatiable need that we have to figure out what somebody's gender expression means. We could just let it go, right? What would it hurt? What would it hurt if we just let everybody be their authentic self and didn't get all caught up in whether or not that's okay for you to wear? How about kilts? Yeah, that's a skirt. You can call it whatever you want. It's a skirt. But in that culture, they've said that's kind of a rite of passage into manhood. We all collectively make these rules, and that also means that we get to change them over time. I get to wear pants, I get to have a short haircut, I get to decide whether or not I'm going to have makeup on, all of those things that we didn't have even 50 years ago. I would have been cross-dressing by showing up with this very short haircut and these pants. Scandalous. We renamed pantyhose tights. They're still horrible inventions in my opinion. Some people like them. So everybody knows kind of where they fall and where they're most comfortable, and that masculine or feminine, and that's okay for most folks. But I think that if we give a little more room, that would be really awesome. So I should have done this as a handout, so I apologize. But if you want to take notes, or later you can give me your email, and I'll make sure that I get it to you. But we've come up with this list, and it's pretty comprehensive, and we found that it's really the best way to navigate the situation. So if you're out in public and you can't tell a person's gender, these are the steps that we recommend that you follow. And so I'll give you a quick second, and you can get out some paper and pen. Everybody ready?
Ready?
That's it. That's the whole list. Can we do that? Would that be okay?